2021 में इंडिया ने फॉर्मुलेट किया इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी इंटरमीडियरी गाइडलाइंस एंड डिजिटल मीडिया एथिक्स कोड रूल्स which dealt with the duties of the social media intermediaries and made them liable for the content that was posted on their platforms by their users. यानी अब बड़ी टेक कंपनीज को कंटेंट को मॉडरेट करना होगा and that too as per the rules of the government of India. These rules provided that intermediaries को due diligence exercise करना होगा with regards the content that was posted on their platforms. और उन्हें ऐसे कंटेंट को रिमूव करना होगा या एक्सेस को डिसेबल करना होगा इफ द कंटेंट is defamatory, obscene, pornographic, pedophilic, invasive of another's privacy, or harmful to children, or if it infringes the patent, trademark, or copyright of other person, or if it is deceiving or misleading, or impersonation of another person has happened. And most importantly, if it threatens the unity, integrity, or sovereignty of India, or its friendly relations with other states, etc., etc. और अगर इंटरमीडियरी इन रूल्स को ऑब्जर्व नहीं करता है देन इट विल बी हेल्ड लायबल अंडर द आईटी एक्ट और द इंडियन पीनल कोड or any other law as the case may be. Now this was 2021 in India and now the same issue has come to light in the United States of America where two cases have been filed in the Supreme Court, popularly known as the SCOTUS, that will be interpreting section 230 of the US Communications Decency Act of 1996 जो कई डेकेड से प्रोटेक्ट करता रहा है टेक कंपनीज को फ्रॉम बीइंग हेल्ड लायबल. Due to section 230, web operators are allowed to moderate user speech and content as they see fit. यानी किस कंटेंट को दिखाना या हटाना है ये सब इंटरमीडियरीज डिसाइड करते हैं एंड दैट टू विदाउट एनी अकाउंटेबिलिटी. अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस सेक्शन, इंटरैक्टिव कंप्यूटर सर्विस कांट बी ट्रीटेड एज द पब्लिशर और स्पीकर ऑफ अ थर्ड पार्टी कंटेंट. This protects websites from lawsuits if a user posts something illegal. Although in cases maybe there are some exceptions like copyright violations, sex work related material and violations of federal criminal law. The First Amendment of the US Constitution gives immense freedom of speech to its citizens and the press, and so it prohibits the government from restricting most forms of speech, which would include many proposals to force tech companies to moderate content. And now I'll tell you something very interesting. Donald Trump, the former president of the United States, released an executive order to restrict and make liable social media platforms in May 2020. This order is said to be drafted a year earlier but was tabled a year later. Of course, we all know the feud that transpired between Trump and Twitter later. Joe Biden also talks about revoking the section 230, but he is not as vocal as Trump, and so the matter is pretty much in a coffin as far as governmental affairs are concerned. But this matter has now been revived क्योंकि जुडिशरी को अब इसमें इन्वॉल्व कर लिया गया है and they have been asked to interpret law following two major incidents on which these two cases are based. Both lawsuits have been brought by families of those killed in the Islamic State terror attacks. इन दो केसेस में से पहला केस फाइल किया गया है गूगल के अगेंस्ट एंड इट इज टाइटल्ड गोंजाल्वेस वर्सेस गूगल. It has been filed by the family of a 23-year-old American national who was killed in Paris along with 129 others in 2015 ISIS terror attack. The petitioners claim that YouTube, the parent company of which is Google, has failed to stop recommending content related to terrorism to its users. It is also claimed that YouTube, due to its failure to curb the recommendation of such content by its algorithm, should be held liable for aiding and abetting ISIS terror attack and be punished under the US anti-terrorism laws. वहीं दूसरा केस फाइल किया गया है ट्विटर के अगेंस्ट एंड इट इज टाइटल्ड ट्विटर इंक वर्सेस तामने. It pertains to a lawsuit filed by the family of a Jordanian citizen who was killed in an ISIS attack on a nightclub in Istanbul in Turkey in 2017. The lawsuit relies on the Anti-Terrorism Act, which allows US nationals to sue anyone who aids and abets international terrorism by knowingly providing substantial assistance. Family argue करती है that despite knowing that their platforms played an important role in ISIS's terrorism efforts, Twitter and other tech companies failed to take action to keep the content related to terrorism of ISIS off these platforms. साथ ही पिटिशनर्स का ये भी कहना है कि these platforms assisted the growth of ISIS by recommending extremist content through their algorithms. The social media platforms obviously urge that the law should not be changed. But what do you think about it? Should US walk the same road as India did 2 years ago? Do let me know.